So I would like to talk this week about this woman. Her name is Hanan Barghouti. And if the media was doing its job, you would have heard of her already. Because here's why she should be in the news. This week, she and 10 others who were released back in November as part of an exchange for hostages held by Hamas and a brief ceasefire have been re-arrested or recaptured by Israeli forces. And that's a complete breach of the agreement that was put in place in November to have her and the rest of those people released. And first of all, it tells us that Netanyahu is not in any way serious about seeking a peaceful solution or about securing the release of the rest of the hostages. Because if you break the agreement that got the first half of the hostages released, why on earth would anybody assume that it was worth making a second agreement to get the other hostages released? It makes no sense whatsoever. There's a couple more things that are interesting about her case. She was originally arrested by the Israeli authorities on the 5th of September. And you might notice that that's before the 7th of October, and it very much puts paid to the lie that the current situation was initiated by Hamas committing atrocities on the 7th of October. There has been a situation that extends way back past that. And indeed, one of the reasons she's been targeted by Israel is that her brother is currently the longest serving Palestinian political prisoner in Israeli detention. He's served around 42 years in total. Couple more things you might find interesting. She's not from Gaza, right? She lives in the occupied West Bank in Ramallah. So the idea that what's going on at the moment is all about removing Hamas from Gaza absolutely puts paid to that. That's why we should be talking about this. And finally, doesn't it just tell us how absolutely horrifically skewed the media reports we're getting are? Can you imagine what would happen if Hamas recaptured some of the hostages who they had released back in November? The media would be going absolutely ballistic about it. It would be on the front page of every single newspaper from Israel to the four corners of the earth. And instead, you probably didn't hear anything about her until I told you, hey? We need better news sources. We need fairer and unbiased news reporting. Because when we get that, the percentage of people calling for a ceasefire will go from whatever it is now, 75% to 100% overnight. And there'll be no ground left for the warmongers to stand on. I'll see you next week. Increasingly, the mainstream media is terrible at informing the public of what is really going on. I'm only able to make these videos because people are generous enough to sponsor me making them, and if you're able to be a part of that, I would hugely appreciate it. It can cost as little as $1 a month, and you'll get loads of fun bonus content and lots of extras from me and my undying gratitude. I also massively appreciate it if you're able to like, share these videos and let people out there know what's going on.